Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's been killing their New Year resolutions. Today I wanted to do some type of a different video. I remembered a couple days ago about a workshop I did at Lost Lands in 2019, and Herobust, I'm sure you know him, was the guy leading the presentation, talking about what makes a song unique. So I'm gonna post up a picture a little bit later of what he exactly taught or was showing us, like this Venn diagram, and then I'm gonna deep dive some songs that I think fit these categories and why. And then I think it's a good way of how to implement these ideas into your own tracks so you can add these specific moments or feeling to make your song more enjoyable, more playable, and overall reaching a bigger crowd. But before I do start this video, if you didn't know, on Christmas I actually dropped a remix with my boy Vodnik. Right here I'll play a little clip for you. If you guys kind of like that little trailer, then feel free to check it out in the description below. It would mean a lot to me. I'm really proud of this song. But other than that, let's stop talking and let's get into the good stuff, okay? Okay, so let's jump into it. Here is a screenshot I took of a video of Herobust talking to us. And the main thing was you have 4 different main areas that are going to really make a track memorable. It's going to be your vocals, shock value, melody, and superior engineering, mastering, mixing, all that stuff that really makes it stick out. So I want to go through these tracks and think what qualifies each one and why it fits this category. So I'm going to be referencing this photo every now and again. But yeah, let's just dive into it. Okay, so first here is Movement by Company. If you haven't heard the song, go check it out. Yeah, but I'm going to play through parts I think are the biggest thing about the song. I think during this part right here, you have some type of flex sound design, so something that during this time Tarot was really starting to get crazy with these multiple layered basses, and Company's always been crazy at making these glitch sounds and stuff. So I think that was definitely the biggest first thing that came into my ears. So. Okay, so that little drop bit we heard, where does it fit in this? Well, I would go with 2 categories. Personally, superior engineering. Company is very good at filling the space of a mix. Not just stereo, but layers with textures and all this stuff. If you've ever seen a production thing from him, his files are very massive because of the amount of layering and texturing he likes to put in his songs. So you have this texture that just sounds very pleasing. And then I would say the melody. Because you have melody / motif, for me, the motif is very danceable, although it's very heavy. You have this very movement. I mean, it's a movement. Yeah, it's what it is. And it works so well, and I think that's why this song got so many plays, especially live shows in 2019. I heard it pretty much every show I went to. Some type of different edits or something, but it would be there. So I think that definitely qualifies that. Shock value, I don't think it qualifies. I don't think anything really crazy out of nowhere happens. And the vocal is just get down with this movement, repeating to a build-up. I don't think it's that crazy. I think it comes from the drop of the superior engineering mixdowns and the melody of the motif. So That is going to be Movement. We'll go with the classic here. It just had its 2-year old birthday, and it's still one of the most played dubstep songs. I think on Spotify it has like 13.5 million plays. If you haven't heard the song, go listen to it. It's fantastic. First thing I noticed from, I think it's Neve. If it's Nev, I'm sorry if I mispronounce it, but this vocal is very airy, euphoric, and very emotional with these chords. So as I'm listening already, vocal is going to be a big part of this. I don't think anything with the first drop is necessarily going to stick out in these categories. I mean, it's a feature bass drop. It's pretty cool. I think the real value of the song comes from the second drop that Wooly wrote. That really is going to fit this: A, shock value, B, melody of the motif of the drop. Because, I mean, if you've heard it, you already know what's coming up. So,
wow, that is fucking impressive.
You have that bass that comes out of nowhere. You kind of sense it's getting maybe a little heavy, but then it just comes out of nowhere. So I would say, honestly, this song really goes for two things: the vocal and the shock value. The motif works because you have the something that you can easily repeat with your mouth or the crowd and all that. But it's definitely the shock of going from light to heavy. It just works really well, and I think that's why this song has aged so well. So on the next one, Behemoth. If you guys have never heard this by Sudden Death, it's a banger. So we'll play it out real quick. Shit's about to. Okay, bet. That's really all you need to take away from this song is that part. And it's very interesting because A, the song doesn't have a call and response, which most dubstep songs do. It just kind of has a rhythm. I would say two things come out of this: the melody, because if you've ever been to a live show, you have the ba, 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 ba. Everyone's gonna be yelling it. And I would just say superior engineering, how well the bass hits with this, with the melody. Shock value, not really. Nothing really comes out of nowhere. And vocal, there's really none there. We'll go on to the next one here. I'm pretty sure everyone knows this one. Zomboy Like a Bitch. Yeah, we'll play it. I'm pretty sure you guys know this. Alright, so this song is pretty outdated as far as dubstep goes, but you still hear this in sets all the time. Obviously, they put one part of the song in, and they usually edit it, and that's what? Vocal. This vocal from, I think it's Lil Jon, killed it. I mean, it's such a hype pre-drop vocal. It just gets people amped. You have a great vocal and superior engineering from Zomboy that makes this tune stick out. Now, this vocal is going to go on for a while. I'm sure people are still going to do edits to this day with that vocal. So you have something that's very memorable, and that's all you need to know. You hear those words and you automatically think of this song. That's amazing. For just a little bit of memory to bring up a whole song, the best thing you can ask for. So catchy vocals are definitely ways of doing this. Next is going to be Subtronix Nitrous Mafia. Now, this song is very interesting if you haven't heard it yet. I'll play the build up to the drop for you guys.
What the hell is even that?
Daddy, chill.
Okay, so where does this sit? Honestly, It's hard. Obviously, vocal isn't really the vocal they did use is from a popular meme, and it works really good for the song. But I think this melody, you have the dun 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 throughout pretty much the whole song in different variations. He keeps it in the drop as like a drum synth. He has those like strings everywhere. And even though Subtronix is known for just pushing his master super hard and just clipping it, this song and his style, how he has it engineered, is insane. The amount of layering and stuff he has pushing to make this grit is actually crazy. So I would say almost these three. You have the shock value because it dun dun, and then you have this big rupturous bass. So it could be debatable there. For me, I think that counts as some shock value because it's just so much hitting at once, and it hits so well. Superior engineering because, like I said, it hits so well. Everything's fitting in the mix perfectly. And you have this melody that's just memorable. Dun 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 dun. Even the whistle that he had, it's all following this melody. It's perfect. Next, we have another one by Subtronix and Grizztronics. It's a very unique track. We'll play it.
Ooh, this should be hitting different.
So what makes this song unique? Shock value, for sure. Okay, so what makes this unique? I would say it's shock value because you have this bump, bum, 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 and then it goes like this wobble bass, which just hits so well with people. The crowd reacts to this song are crazy. And then you have this melody. Obviously, what I just really kind of went over, the motif. The melody works. There's nothing crazy about the engineering. There's no crazy vocals. It's literally just... Honestly, I take that back. The pre-drop vocal is there. Ooh, this should be hitting different. That is very unique, and it did get a lot of ground. So I would say shock value, vocal, melody. I wouldn't say there's anything crazy about the engineering here. It's a normal mix down. All right, the last one I have here is Excision's newer track with Slander, Your Fault, with LEV, I believe is how it's pronounced. It's a very good track. If you haven't heard it, I will play little snippets in here, so maybe spoilers if you haven't heard it, but you know, just go listen to it before I click it.
Since the beginning,
Right off the get-go,
it was you and me.
you have these very emotional chords, very emotional vocal.
Where is a happy ending?
We start progressing, adding more elements.
You lived in your head. This is why you're leaving and treating me so.
So up to this point, you have a very emotional vocal that's getting progressively more emotional and more sad as the lines come in. You're getting progression, adding more tension with these instruments, and you get to this build up now, and and I'm thinking in my head, okay, it's gonna be like an aggressive future bass drop, like maybe some type of maybe melodic dubstep, but you have this ARP coming in, and that's what's going through my mind. And then it goes to this super heavy Excision, which you would expect, right? But this isn't just a 16-bar drop, it has more to it. Then you get the release of this tension of a heavy drop with this melodic bit I'm assuming Slander did, and it's just perfect. It brings back that ARP, it changes up the drums, it changes up the feeling, and you get this release overall. So I know I've spent more time on this track, but I think it's a little more complicated than most. I think you have the vocal. I think you, with just her vocal, is insane. The shock value of the flip from emotional to heavy without really a teaser beforehand, I think it does that. Superior engineering, I think this classifies as that because how well this is mixed down and the different layers and dynamics of this track. And then I would say even the melody, even this heavy part here. And yeah, so I would say the one debatable thing is maybe the melody, because you have different melodies and arps going at different times. But the one they drop, da-na-na, 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 it really sticks in your head, especially when you're listening to it. It's very groovy. It depends how you go there. It could either fit all these categories, or I would say the one that maybe it's lacking is a melody. That's because these are so prominent in it. But yeah, that's actually going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's not a traditional tutorial or my waycast, which I have more coming soon, but I figured it's cool to define what makes a song good. And when I thought of Herobust teaching us that back in the day, it really made me think, let's take what I learned back then and apply it to songs now and see how they're fitting. Do they fit these categories, or are they outside of it? And I feel like everything really fit inside of one of those 4 categories. If you like the video, feel free to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It's free. It helps me out. And I do have a special plan for 100 subscribers. So once we get there, you guys will get notified of it, I guess. But I appreciate everyone that's taking the time to watch this video, especially if you've made it this far. It means you watched it all, which means a lot to me. Other than that, keep grinding, keep making music every day, and keep working towards your goals. If you want a community of where producers are, I'll leave a link to the Discord I'm very active in. I do weekly sessions with producers over different topics, beginner to intermediate, and we're very active, uplifting community that will give you honest feedback on your music and also help you on places you're struggling in. So if that is something you are interested in, feel free to hit that link below and join. We would love to have you and love the positivity in the community. Other than that, I feel like this video has been going long enough. I hope you guys learned something, and I'll catch you in the next video.